Hi, my name is Melinda Ralph, and this is my Unit 12 screencast for weather analysis and forecasting. So first is the weather maps from the week of March 22nd to 28th. On Sunday, March 22nd, there was a low pressure system underneath Alaska in the North Pacific with some warm and cold fronts across Alaska and lots of snow and clouds cover. Lots of snow and cloud cover. On Monday, we had a little bit less cloud cover. You can see that, south central Alaska and, part of the Aleutian Islands are uncovered and, down here on the panhandle. We've got high pressure systems that were on Sunday over here in Siberia. They've moved over on top of Alaska, while the low pressure system has moved a little south. On Tuesday, we had the high pressure systems moving down towards Canada and another low pressure system moving a little bit up here underneath the south central Alaska. We've got, a mixed front here, cold front and a warm front. Winds are going to be going this way and kind of really calm winds, but like you can see it's kind of weird with the pressure, how it's, big space like that, but then a little space like that. We've got the high pressure systems all up in the north of Alaska and down in Canada. Some precipitation down here. So on Tuesday, they predicted that for Wednesday, the low pressure system would move up into South Alaska, and the high pressure systems would be kind of pushed out of the way, almost like a stone separating water in a stream. How the high pressure system moves this way and then that way. They predicted that the low pressure system would move up and bring heavy winds in along this area. They predicted that on Thursday it would move up even a little bit more, pushing the high pressure system down this way, and this high pressure system that was in Canada is already gone. We've got the mixed front here, and this is making that comma shape that we went over in Unit 10. And that was in the last section. This comma shape that's kind of common of cyclones, I believe. They were pretty accurate with the Thursday prediction. Here's the actual map from Thursday, and you've got the high pressure system in that same column shape, or the low pressure system in that same column shape, with the high pressure system from Siberia still kind of over in this area, on top of the water in the Pacific. And you've got tons of cloud cover over Alaska on Thursday, March 26th. And you've got two low pressure systems over here up in Canada that look like they're moving down south. And then those ones right there. So for Friday, March 27th, we see that that low pressure system, the comma one, kind of down here in the North Pacific away from Alaska, and it seems to be going, kind of making this way, and it's now going south. And there's a high pressure system over here, and another one over here, but you can see a low pressure system moving in over here from on top of Russia. So on Friday they did predictions for Saturday, and they have that low pressure system moving back up towards Alaska, and the one that we saw over in Russia moving downwards this way. You can see it has a mixed front, and it's got precipitation coming this way. And this one doesn't seem to have a lot of precipitation, with a little bit of cloud cover you can kind of see right up here. But it's got a little bit of central Alaska kind of clear in some of Canada. And Friday's prediction for Sunday has that low pressure system, up here in the Aleutians, and the other one moving down across the Pacific, kind of in that same this way kind of pattern. So, maybe it's doing a counterclockwise circular motion just up in that huge Arctic area. And now you see there's a whole bunch of cloud cover, or they predict a whole bunch of cloud cover across Alaska, but the coastal cities have a good little sunny break right there. But as you can see from Sunday's actual weather map, there's only a bit of clear skies here in central and down here, probably towards Dillingham, I think that is. But that low pressure system from Russia has moved this way, and we've got these two down here in the Aleutian Islands and this one all the way over in Canada. But we've still got that high pressure system over here on, actually on Russia. See the outline right there. So but it's still in that kind of comma shape. You can barely tell, but just it kind of tapers off along this bottom edge, and it's moving around, and something's going on up there. So now we'll kind of compare the maps and the worksheets and the different forecasts that they came up with at the NWS stations. So they, in this first table, you see, their predictions for Saturday across the different regions, and then their prediction on Saturday for Tuesday and Friday, and then their prediction on Tuesday for just Friday. And you can see the different areas, and they kind of don't seem to be changing. This is the persistence forecast, so they kind of go off of what the temperature. So next we're going to go over the worksheet and how the persistence forecast and the climatology forecasts differ and how accurate they are in predicting weather. So here we've got the Saturday forecast for Tuesday and Friday. And you've got the different temperatures across the region. And so this first temperature, this is what the temperature was on Saturday, and persistence means that the theory is the weather will continue throughout the week. So on Saturday, the temperature in Bethel was 26, in Dillingham it was 35, Kenai was 32, Fairbanks 30, Northway was 27, Eagle it was 19, and in Dead Horse it was -9 degrees Fahrenheit. And then on Tuesday, this is what the temperature was on Tuesday, but this is also what they predicted for Friday, which is how persistent forecast works, which doesn't seem to work out all that well. And actually, once we go down here, you'll see that, the persistence forecast system was pretty much, in Dillingham it worked perfectly. In Kenai it worked pretty well. Fairbanks and Northway worked okay, but Eagle River and Bethel, it doesn't really seem to work. It worked on Tuesday in Bethel, but in Eagle River it just fell apart. And in Dead Horse you've got a similar thing within Fairbanks, where it's slightly accurate, but it's got some it's not quite accurate, and it's not as accurate as many climatologists probably want it to be. The climatology forecast didn't seem to work very well at all. Here it is, completely failing in Bethel, completely failing in Dillingham, and partially failing in Fairbanks and Eagle. And you can also see that the climatology forecast succeeded quite well in Dead Horse, and kind of okay in Northway and in Kenai. So we go down to the NWS forecast, and what they did is they have much better equipment to do these forecasts. So as you can see, the Tuesday forecast from Saturday and Friday, the Saturday forecast for Tuesday and Friday are different, whereas in the persistence forecast they were both 26 degrees. And Tuesday it says 22 and 25. Down here you can see that they were 11 degrees below for Tuesday, 13 degrees below for Friday, another 13 degrees too low. So it's not perfect, but it can be a little bit more accurate than the NWS. And you see here in Dillingham, they forecast on Saturday that on Tuesday it was going to be 40 degrees, and they were spot on in Dillingham for that forecast. And so the lower the number, the better, unless it's a negative. They really seem to not get Eagle or Bethel right very much. That's something that I noticed in this unit. And it's kind of a throw up for Dillingham and for the other ones on whether they'll be accurate or completely off. So here you got the assessment. They were completely off on Bethel and accurate, nearly spot on for Dillingham. Spot on for Kenai, close enough for Fairbanks, right for Northway and for Dead Horse, but Eagle River, they kind of got it right, but they were so off. And if you look, their error number was -9, which puts them really close to that failed forecast, that failed assessment for the forecast. So here is the surface maps tracking for a low pressure system. The student trend forecast was for the location to be in Kenai on Thursday. The student trend forecast was for it to be, 967 millibars in Kenai, but it ended up being 980 millibars for pressure, and in the Alaska Peninsula, which means that it was probably over, just a little bit out of place from what the student trend forecast suggested. So I also thought that the student trend forecast for the low pressure system of the weekend was going to end up on Sunday in Kenai at 980 millibars of pressure, but it ended up being in the North Pacific at 983. So now we're going to go over the cyclone on Sunday, March 29th. I predicted that this low pressure system was actually going to be a little bit northwards and lower in pressure. I thought it was going to be 980 millibars instead of 983, which isn't really that big of a difference. I thought it was going to be a little bit more northwards, a little bit more eastward, whereas instead it went southwest. If it had been in the area where I had predicted, the low pressure system would have pushed more storms up towards the interior of Alaska, which would have completely blocked everything out. Instead, it's bringing this pressure system down this way. It also might have separated out this pressure system and this pressure system, and would have created two separate storm systems, maybe even just like this one is completely separate. So that would have had a deeper impact on the entirety of Alaska, having two low pressure systems moving in towards us. Instead, it seems like these seem to have combined, and they're just different pressures. And you've got this one over here, and it's not as low as you normally would expect for a low pressure system. I actually had to look twice at this because of how high pressure it is. And so that one's all the way over here, and it's not really affecting too much in Alaska, but these two are impacting quite a bit. And when we go up to Tuesday for the next point, the high temperature in interior Alaska on Tuesday through Thursday. You see it's very clear and no cloud cover at all on Tuesday, and on Thursday there's a ton of cloud cover. This could have been a mix of issues. You can see that, wind was moving northeast on Thursday, and on Tuesday it was really calm around here. So it may have been that because of the heightened solar, because the sun is higher in the sky during this time of year, maybe it gets warmer, and then as night comes with cloud cover, it keeps everything real warm and keeps it pretty warm and warms up even more through Wednesday. And then once you get to Thursday, it's all covered and everything's kept in and the heat's all there, but it's still cloudy and it's still record temperatures and it's hot. And it was quite warm on Wednesday and Thursday. You can see, and it maybe had to do with the low pressure system moving up towards, here and moving up through the south central, and warm winds were just pushed towards Fairbanks. Could have been the high pressure system over here moving things this way. It could have been this low pressure system moving things this way. It could have been a lot of things. I think it was the cloud cover and how the cloud cover adjusted throughout the week and kept the warmth in. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.